Hey, what's going on, guys? It is your boy Jordan, and today I'm going to be talking about Halloween 1978. Now, this is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I'm really excited to be talking about it today. And of course, especially in anticipation of Halloween Kills coming out on the 15th of October. But anyway, let's get right into this. The cast, the main three, of course, is Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode, Donald Pleasance as Dr. Samuel Loomis, and Nick Castle as Michael Myers. We'll get into the other cast further down the line, and then we, of course, got John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, who wrote the movie. And John Carpenter, obviously, he directed it and produced the music for it. But anyway, let's start by, getting into some of the positives of this movie. Obviously, the positives is the cast. Laurie Strode, obviously played by Jamie Lee Curtis, is a really good, she's like one of the final girls. She's one of the OGs. She does great. I think this is Jamie Lee Curtis's like first movie even. So that's pretty cool or whatever. There is a part, I don't remember which part of the movie it's in, where I kind of cringe at her acting. Like, I don't know, it's a funny part. It's whenever she's home and she's about to go in and she looks at the kids. She says that line, bro. It's so cheesy, bro. I guess that's like 70s acting or whatever, but anyway, she does a good job overall. And obviously Donald Pleasance, I don't even need to explain to you what he has done for the franchise as a whole. He kind of hypes up Michael Myers and lets you know that this guy is fucking evil incarnate. And of course, Nick Castle, he plays Michael Myers. He really brings that character to life. He was literally just a friend of John Carpenter's. I believe he was getting paid like $25 a day, and man, he just brung that character to life. It's the model that they model every other portrayal after to this day, and even like sort of like Jason from the Friday the 13th franchise. Like, even he kind of takes after Michael a little bit. Michael is the OG. And of course, the next positive is the story. John Carpenter really knocked this shit out of the park. He basically took it from inspiration of, I think he was like on a trip or something. I think it was with his college class or something, and they went to like, I think, an asylum or something like that, and he just saw this kid who had this like blank face, and it was just like kind of like an evil death stare, and that kind of gave him like inspiration. At least that's how I remember it. But yeah, and then he kind of just pours that into the Michael Myers character. So John Carpenter is like, like, he really just did such a good job with this, as well as Deborah Hill. And of course, he did the music. Like I said, that theme song is just the most classic theme song of all time. Growing up, I would always just go because I don't know, man, Michael Myers is my boy, and I just love that theme song. But another thing is, like, it's so impressive that they did this with a $300,000 budget, which was even small for even back in 1978. So they really this really like kind of defines that whole quality over quantity, because they really, like, this is probably one of the best films of all time, like in any genre, probably like top 100, 200, something like that, man. They really knocked it out of the park with that. Basically, they gave John Carpenter like a concept of like a serial killer, and he just kind of like, again, with the story that I just said about him going to that place and the experience with the kid, and kind of taking inspiration like from that for the Michael Myers character, and then just putting it into action like on screen, and just the direction is just effortless. This movie just flows like effortlessly, like throughout the entire run of the movie. It's just, I don't know, I feel like I could watch this movie like over and over, and it wouldn't get super old. And it goes without saying that I at the very least watch this movie like once or twice a year, especially around Halloween time. And I, of course, rewatched it in preparation for this review and whatnot. And one of the biggest positives and one of the most iconic scenes in slasher history is, the Blackest Eye speech by Donald Pleasance. Donald Pleasance is Dr. Loomis, man. It just puts this fear into your heart. Like, you believe what he's saying, bro. Like, you hear him talking about Michael, and you're just like, damn, like, what are these guys in for right now? And it's just, I don't know. It just works so perfectly. And another thing I can praise this movie for is, birthing, the slasher era. Friday the 13th wouldn't be here without it. I don't know if I can say that about Freddy, because I'm not sure if he'd still be here or not if it wasn't for that. Yeah, it kind of birthed it. It wasn't the first slasher. I think that's Psycho, or maybe even before that. Like, I heard Black Christmas. But it really started the slasher craze, like the popularity for it in the 80s and all that. This movie really does well with the suspense as well. It's not a very, balls to the wall slasher. That kind of started with, Friday the 13th, and then, Halloween 2, and then the other Friday the Friday the 13th movies. But yeah, dude, it's just suspense. I think there's only like 3 kills, and there's only like blood in like one scene, I believe. So yeah, they didn't really go balls to the walls. This movie is really just like all about the suspense, Michael Myers stalking, and just, I don't know, the way they do this entire movie. And of course, everything down to the little simplistic things of how you just see Michael Myers, like he's in the bathroom or whatever that room was, and you just see the light hit his face, then he just walks out and then slashes her arm. That is such an iconic scene. I just remember watching that when I was a kid, and it's just, I don't know, it's just super iconic. And of course, the mask. Dude, I love this mask. Obviously, they had trouble in the other sequels for whatever reason keeping it freaking consistent. I just don't understand how they couldn't do that, but they never could, at least until these, Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills. That's one thing I can really praise those movies for, is that it's so consistent and the quality is just amazing. But anyway, the mask, it's just a William Shatner mask painted like gray, and the hair is just a little roughed up a little bit. And then what else did they do? I think they made the eye holes bigger, and I think there's a story where, like, after they got done with it, they had somebody like walk out of the house, and they just were like, man, that's definitely the mask that we need for this movie. And it just worked. It was like a $2 something mask, and to this day, it's in competition with, the new mask from Halloween 2018, this new timeline. But excluding that, like, it's no comparison compared to the other masks that probably had way more money put into them, which is kind of ridiculous to say, because it's literally like a $2 mask, just, spray painted, like, or just painted gray, and just, I don't know, I just don't understand how they couldn't keep it consistent in the sequels. But anyway, the mask is perfection. My favorite slasher mask of all time. Again, my favorite horror villain of all time, Michael Myers. I love that guy. And of course, it's classic. This is just one of the most classic movies ever. It's timeless. I could watch it like over and over, more than a few times a year even. It's a near perfection. $300,000 budget, and just the things that they were able to do with this movie. It's just, I don't know, man. I just love this movie so much, especially with what they had to work with. Like, this is like at least top 5 favorite movies of all time for me personally, and it just birthed my favorite slasher franchise. And if it wasn't for Michael Myers, I probably wouldn't even be a horror fan or slasher fan. But yeah, what hasn't already been said about this movie? I think that's it for the positives. I don't really have that many negatives. Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk about the other cast as well. I did say that. Annie, I forgot the actor's name, but she plays a pretty good role. I hear people complain about the acting a little bit, say, oh, she wasn't that good of an actor looking back at it. I personally don't see that. I think she did fine. PJ Souls is Linda. She does her purpose as well, which is, to be Laurie's friend and die, of course. But yeah, the whole totally like how she just says totally just throughout the entire movie, that's just in her vocabulary. It's kind of funny. I never noticed that in all my years until it was pointed out, which is crazy. But yeah, that's funny now that I look back on it. You got Will Patton as Deputy Frank Hawkins. He's the guy that Donald Pleasant's Dr. Loomis was basically talking to about the, how Michael Myers has the blackest eyes, how he's evil, and how, death has come to your little town sheriff, shit like that, man. It's just really amazing. And then you got the two kids, Kyle Richards as Lindsay Wallace. She's coming back for Halloween Kills, which I'm excited about. I forgot the other actor's name, but he's not returning for Halloween Kills, but he does well as good as well. Yeah, dude, that's pretty much it for all I have to say about the cast. Bob, one of the best, most classic kills in the series, not the most bloody, obviously. It's again, this first movie isn't that bloody, but his death is so iconic. Probably top 10 Michael Myers kills of all time, just because of how classic it is. But anyway, outside of that, man, that's all, man. The cast is just near flawless. The movie is damn near flawless. It's one of the greatest movies of all time, in my personal opinion. John Carpenter's Halloween will forever be a classic in my eyes and the eyes of most people that watch it, of course. And as for negatives, again, I don't really have barely any. Except that maybe it ages a little bit bad in some areas, like I said with the the Lori thing, where she had that kind of corny acting, 70s acting, where she's outside of her house and she's looking at the kids, and I don't remember what she said, but it was super freaking corny, bro. And I never noticed it before, but when I watched it this last time in preparation for this review, bro, I just started dying laughing. It was just so funny. But outside of that, that's the only negative. Not really even a negative, really. It's just a nitpick, but barely even that, because I actually had fun seeing it. That 70s acting, it was kind of funny. I laughed my ass off at it. But outside of that, I'm thinking of changing my ranking system. Probably you'll see in my next video that I changed the ranking system, and I'll probably translate my other rankings that I've given to the Scream franchise as well as this movie in a future video probably. But I'm gonna use the same old ranking system out of 5 that I usually do. I want to say 5 out of 5, but I don't think I can ever give any movie a perfect score exactly. But this is damn near perfection. So out of 5 is definitely gonna get a 4.5, or just a 5 out of 5 if I'm not being strict with my ranking, it's definitely a 5 out of 5. But you always hear me say, I don't think anything's perfect, so I'm gonna give it a official 4 out of 5. I mean 4.5 out of 5. But man, anyway, this is John Carpenter's Halloween. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for the next video. It's either gonna be, I'm trying to decide which one I want to review next. Obviously, the obvious next step would be Halloween 2, but Halloween Kills is coming out next month. I might just do Halloween 2018 and then continue after that. And then when Kills comes out, I'll review that, of course. I already told you guys I was gonna do the Scream TV series, so that'll be coming as well. And I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. It was really cool to make. This is one of my favorite movies of all time, so I enjoyed talking about it, of course. And stay tuned for more content. And this has been your boy Jordan, and see you in the next one. Thank you.